Be me, Rachel, 34, civil engineer. Spent my 20s climbing ladders in hard hats while men twice my age called me sweetheart. Earned every inch of respect in that office. Live alone in a decent apartment. Finally making senior engineer money. Independence feels like breathing clean air after years underground. New neighbour moves in across the hall 6 months ago. Kevin, maybe late 20s, works from home mostly. Graphic designer or something. Always has this look like he's apologising for existing. We do the polite nod thing for weeks. One night I'm in the laundry room, 10 p.m, because that's when it's empty. He walks in with a single garbage bag of clothes. Literally one bag. Like, dude, are you washing everything you own at once? He looks embarrassed. Mumbles something about forgetting laundry exists. We sit there in that fluorescent lighting, both pretending to look at our phones. Machines humming like white noise generators. You're in 3B, right? He asks. First full sentence he's ever said to me. Yeah, you're 3A. Conversation you'd have with a stranger at a bus stop. But then his phone buzzes and he actually groans out loud. Sorry, just dating apps, you know? Holds up his phone showing some girl's message that just says, K. The conversation above it is him writing these thoughtful paragraphs about her profile. Her responses are all variations of LOL and K. Why do you keep messaging her? I ask. He shrugs in this defeated way. I mean, she hasn't unmatched me yet, so... The bar is literally on the floor. Actually beneath the floor. Geological layers beneath the floor. We end up talking for 40 minutes while our clothes wash. He tells me about his day, which consisted of working, gaming with friends online, and eating cereal for dinner. I tell him about the project I'm managing, this bridge renovation. He actually listens, asks questions, doesn't do that thing where men wait for their turn to talk. Seems genuinely interested when I explain load calculations. Rare enough that I notice. Becomes a thing after that. Running into each other in the hallway, laundry room, mailboxes. He's always polite, always respectful of my space. Never does that thing where guys use friendliness as a down payment on sex. Just lonely, I realize. Profoundly, obviously lonely. One day I'm struggling with groceries. He helps without being weird about it. You doing anything tonight? I ask, without thinking. No. Sounds like a question when he says it, like he's checking if that's the right answer. Want to order Thai food and watch something? His face does this thing, like I just offered him water in a desert. Bit pathetic, honestly, but also kind of heartbreaking. He comes over, brings beer, like he's attending some formal event. We watch some documentary about architectural failures. He's relaxed for the first time since I've known him. Mentions his friends, Tyler and William. We play online together most nights. That's cool. You guys hang out in person much? Pause. Tyler visited last month for a weekend. First time in like 8 months. William lives too far. We've never actually met in real life. Let that sink in. This man's closest friendships are entirely digital, except Tyler, who he sees twice a year maybe. I think about my life, my work friends, my college roommate Sarah, who I get drinks with, my climbing gym crew. Not a massive social circle, but like real, present, physical humans. Regular interaction that doesn't require Wi-Fi. Kevin becomes my friend somehow. Real friend, not just neighbour acquaintance. We grab coffee on weekends, watch movies. He helps me move furniture. Never once makes it weird. Never accidentally touches me. Never does the nice guy routine. Just genuinely seems grateful to have someone to talk to. Tyler visits one weekend. I meet him in the hallway. 31, works in IT, dressed like he's given up on everything below the waist. Kevin's excited, showing him around like a puppy. Later, Kevin invites me to join them for drinks. Tyler's quiet at first, then a few beers and starts talking. Man, I miss college, he says. The classes or the social life? I ask. Just like seeing people, having a reason to be around humans. Now I work remote, live alone, my family's across the country. You date? He laughs, but it's hollow. I've been on maybe 20 dating app dates in 2 years. One turned into a second date. She ghosted after that. What about meeting people organically? Where? He asks. Genuine question. Like, I don't know, bars, or hobbies, classes? He exchanges this look with Kevin. It says everything. I went to a bar alone once, Tyler says. Felt like everyone could tell I was there to meet people. Felt desperate, left after one drink. Tried a climbing gym, Kevin adds. Everyone was already in pairs or groups. Felt weird approaching anyone. They're talking over each other now, this dam breaking. Classes are all expensive and filled with retired people or couples. Volunteering, same thing. Church if you're into that, but... Oh, they trail off. I'm listening and something's clicking in my head. Uncomfortable clicking, like gears that don't want to fit together, grinding anyway. What about William? I ask. Kevin's face falls a little. William is... struggling. Lost his job 8 months ago. Barely leaves his apartment. We keep telling him to move closer, but he can't afford it. He tries the apps. Kevin pulls up a screenshot William sent him. It's William's dating profile. Normal-looking guy, bit soft around the edges, trying too hard in his bio. 0 matches in 3 months. Actually 0. Not exaggerating for effect. Literally 0 human women swiped right in 90 days. My engineer brain does what it does. Starts seeing patterns, running calculations. Kevin, 2 matches a month average, maybe 1 response, date, every few months, that goes nowhere. Tyler, similar stats, bit better because he's tall. William, statistical 0. I think about my friend Sarah. She complains about dating being hard, but she means choosing between options, filtering through matches, deciding which of the guys messaging her might be worth meeting. Completely different problem set, same words, different universe. One night Kevin and I are doing laundry again, our regular spot, 10 p.m. Thursday. He's telling me about a date he went on. Finally got one after 6 weeks of trying. How'd it go? She spent the whole time on her phone, left after 40 minutes, said she had an early morning. I'm sorry. He shrugs. Par for the course. Then quieter. I think I'm just not interesting enough. And I want to argue, but like. He's probably right. Not that he's defective, but he's average. Normal job, normal hobbies, normal conversation skills. Bit awkward, not super charismatic. Doesn't have that spark that makes people gravitate. In any other era of human history, he'd be fine. He'd meet someone through community, through social obligation, through structures that threw people together. He'd become interesting to someone over time through proximity and shared experience. But now he's competing in a marketplace, and markets are efficient. They flow toward maximum value. Why would a woman invest time in average when she can swipe until she finds extraordinary? She shouldn't have to settle. I genuinely believe that. Women spent millennia forced to settle, forced to marry for survival, for social standing, because spinsterhood meant destitution. The feminist wins I value most. Economic independence, I support myself, own my apartment. Sexual autonomy, I choose if, when, and who. Freedom from obligatory partnership, I'm not incomplete without a husband. Rejection of domestic servitude, I'm not a maid who does that. These are victories, real ones, paid for by women braver than me. But watching Kevin's face in the laundry room fluorescence, seeing how small he makes himself, how apologetic he is for wanting connection, something feels broken in a way I can't articulate. William visits finally, takes a bus 4 hours, round trip. I meet him when Kevin invites me to join them for pizza. He's heavier than his photos, hair thinning, talks too loud, then too quiet. Can't read social cues, keeps making jokes that don't land. I watch Kevin and Tyler compensate, smooth over awkward moments. They love him, clearly. Childhood friends, shared history, inside jokes. You're Kevin's neighbor? William asks me. Yeah, we hang out pretty regularly. That's cool. Must be nice having someone right there. Something in his voice. He goes home to an empty apartment 2 hours away. His online friends are his only consistent social contact. He's unemployed, so his days are structureless. Applying for jobs that don't respond. Swiping on apps that don't match. Gaming until 3 a.m. because why sleep on a schedule? After they leave, Kevin looks exhausted. Tyler's the successful one, he says. William is... I worry about William. Does he have other friends? We're it. And we're not even there. I start noticing after that. The men at my work, the ones who aren't married, young engineers, technicians, site managers. How many eat lunch alone? How many mention spending weekends gaming, watching stuff, existing in their apartments? They're not bad guys, not creeps or jerks, just isolated, like they're all living in separate boxes, reaching toward each other through screens. One of my work friends, Jessica, complains about dating. Men are so low effort, she says. This guy suggested we split a pizza for a first date. A pizza? How cheap can you be? I nod along because that is low effort. But I think about Kevin practicing what to say on dates, agonizing over whether dinner is too formal, coffee too casual, spending money he doesn't have much of on dates that end in polite rejection. Neither perspective is wrong. Jessica shouldn't have to accept low effort. Kevin is trying his best. Somehow both things are true. My friend group is mostly women. We talk about relationships, dating, men. The consensus is usually men are disappointing. They don't communicate, don't do emotional labor, don't meet our standards. And I agree mostly. The bar is low and they limbo under it. But then I think about Kevin asking me how my day was and actually listening, remembering details about my projects, respecting every boundary, trying so hard to be worth someone's time, and getting nowhere. One night after wine, I ask him directly, "Do you feel lonely?" He's quiet for a long time. I feel like I'm shouting into a void, like I'm supposed to be connecting with people, but I can't figure out how. Everyone else got a manual I didn't receive. You have friends, though. I have people I play games with online. I have Tyler, who I see twice a year. I have you, which is honestly the most consistent friendship I've had in years. No offense. None taken. I thought by 30 I'd have a partner. Kids, maybe. Group of friends I see regularly. Community. I thought life would feel less empty. His honesty is uncomfortable. Makes me want to fix it, but I can't. I can't make women want to date him. I can't manufacture friendship groups. I can't rebuild social structures that don't exist anymore. I think about the church my grandmother attended, how she met my grandfather through church socials. Their friend group was built in. Other church couples, weekly gatherings, shared purpose, community expectation. She told me once she wasn't sure she loved him when they married. Love came after, she said. You built it together. I found that horrifying when she said it, marrying someone you didn't love. But she was happy. They were together 40 years until he died. She had community, purpose, connection. I don't want to go back to that. Don't want arranged partnerships and obligatory domesticity. Don't want women forced into marriage for survival. But what replaced it? Freedom, choice, autonomy. These are good things. I genuinely believe that. But Kevin's freedom means freedom to be alone. His choice means access to a marketplace that doesn't choose him back. His autonomy means no one is obligated to build community with him. And that's fair. No one should be obligated. Women don't owe men relationships. I don't owe Kevin anything beyond what I choose to give. His loneliness is not my responsibility to fix, but he's still lonely. William is still isolated. Tyler still goes days without meaningful in-person interaction. And there are millions of them. I see the statistics, read the articles. Young men reporting historic levels of loneliness. Declining friendships, declining relationships, declining community. Increasing isolation, increasing depression, increasing suicide. It's not women's fault. We're not causing it by having standards. We're not obligated to fix it by lowering standards. We deserve partners who meet us as equals, who've done their emotional work, who add value to our lives. But the men who can't do that, the average ones, the awkward ones, the ones without charisma or social skills or genetic lottery wins, they're just alone now, and they used to not be. They used to have structures that caught them. Mandatory social participation through church, community expectations, workplace cultures that involved humans. Assigned relationships through proximity and obligation. Those structures were often oppressive, especially to women. I don't mourn them. But I notice their absence leaves casualties. Kevin asks me once, late night laundry conversation, "Do you think I'm defective?" What? No, why? If this many people reject me, statistically, I must be the problem. You're not defective. The system is just different now. Different how? I try to explain what I'm thinking. About markets and efficiency. About freedom and isolation. About how liberation from obligation means no guaranteed connection. So I'm free to die alone, he says. Not bitter, just factual. That's not what No, I get it. And it's fair. Women shouldn't have to settle. I wouldn't want someone with me out of obligation. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Neither do I. I don't have answers. I believe in everything feminism fights for. Economic independence, bodily autonomy, freedom from patriarchal control, women's right to choose partnership or not, to have standards, to demand equality. These are correct goals, just goals, morally right. But watching Kevin, Tyler, William, seeing their isolation, understanding it's not individual failing but systemic shift, recognizing that societal transformation has downstream effects. Some people thrive in new systems, some people drown. Kevin's not a bad person. He's not entitled, not misogynistic, not blaming women. He's just adrift in a world that removed the structures he needed without replacing them with anything. Told him to figure it out alone. And he can't. I can't tell him to be more charismatic. That's not a choice. Can't tell him to be taller, more successful, more interesting. Can't tell him to try harder. He's already trying. Can't tell him to lower his standards. He barely has any. Can't tell him to just focus on himself. He does. It doesn't fill the void. One Thursday night, our regular laundry time. We're folding in comfortable silence. He says, "Thanks for being my friend." Of course. No, really. This is the most human connection I have. These Thursday nights, the occasional movie, it matters. I feel the weight of being someone's primary connection. I'm not trying to be. I'm just being a decent neighbor, a friend. But for him, it's everything. And I can't be everything. I don't want that responsibility, but he's not asking for more than I give. Just acknowledging what it means to him. I think about all the Kevins, all the Tylers and Williams, men who aren't thriving in modern dating markets, who lack the social skills for atomized friendship formation, who were left behind when communal structures dissolved. They're not women's problem to solve. Their loneliness doesn't obligate us to anything, but they're still human, still suffering, still worthy of empathy, even if not entitled to relationship. Did feminism cause this? Not directly. Feminism freed women from obligation. Rightfully so, necessarily so, but when you remove obligation, you remove guarantee. When you create freedom, you create possibility of isolation. When you tear down oppressive structures, you tear down structures. What remains is individuals choosing. And choice means some people won't be chosen. I don't know what the answer is. I don't want to go back. Don't want women forced into relationships. Don't want community built on obligation and oppression. But I also see Kevin's face. The hope when someone actually talks to him. The resignation when they don't. The loneliness that's becoming his baseline. Maybe there's no reconciling this. Maybe individual freedom and universal connection can't coexist. Maybe some people thriving means others floundering. Maybe liberation has costs we don't like acknowledging. I keep being Kevin's friend, keep showing up for Thursday laundry, keep inviting him to movies and meals, not because I owe him, because I choose to. Because despite everything, he's good company. Because his loneliness is real, even if it's not my responsibility. And I keep thinking, keep questioning, keep holding both truths. Feminism was necessary and right, and some men are drowning in its wake. Not their fault, not women's fault, just the reality of transformation. Systems changing, people caught between. No easy answers, no simple solutions, just Kevin across the hall, folding laundry alone at 10 p.m. on Thursday. Grateful when I show up, trying to figure out how to be human, in a world that doesn't need him the way it used to. And me, trying to hold empathy and conviction together, believing women deserve freedom, seeing freedom's casualties, knowing both things matter, having no idea how to reconcile them.